Welcome everybody, welcome kitchen table wizards, welcome deck brewers from all over the world. My name is Bram, I'm here with my intern Nora, and as promised in the draw party video for our matches on Sunday, we have for you a nice Moonfolk Landfall deck. As always, this is a 60 card deck meant for casual fun games where you can get your inspiration in from other formats, and I think it's clear if you looked at the Pro Tour lately, our matches are just a lot better. So much more fun. So today I made a Simic deck with a lot of lands in it and also some mysterious Moonfolk.
They indeed look mysterious, Bram. What else can you tell us about them? Okay, apparently he doesn't know his magic lore that well. But luckily I know someone who does know its stuff, so Dice Try will give us some help.
The Moonfolk are a creature type native to Kamigama. Their skin is bluish gray, and their features are long, slender, and beautiful. In many ways, they reflect the skies where their castles reside. Fittingly, they're also known by another name, Saratomi, which is Japanese and roughly translates to skyfolk. Up high from their perch in the clouds, they look down on those who dwell below with an aloof detachment. They view their struggles with nothing more than a passing curiosity, only influencing events when they see fit. I feel their unnatural influence in the weary weeping land. Do they care nothing for the creatures who walk below the clouds? As a blue creature type, it's no surprise their main focus is in the studying and the perfecting of magic. One such magic they're famous for is the reading of their mirrors, which show them Kamigawa's present and potential futures. Even though they're only found on one plane, you may still encounter one of their kin whose spark has ignited, the planeswalker Tamiyo. Either way, if you do find yourself in Kamigawa, Traveler, and have the chance to speak to the Moonfolk, be sure to absorb all the wisdom that they impart.
Okay, thank you Nora, and thanks a lot Dice Try for clearing this out for us. If you like to know a little bit about magic lore, do check out his channel, really cool, and I've put a link in the description below for you to find it. Now Dice Try is not the only friend we have, we also still have our friends at Card Market. They are giving away a voucher every Friday at our deck decks for you. And the only thing you need to do is subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below. This time I want to know, what is your favorite landfall card? Put it in the comment below. We'll pick a random person every week and he or she can win a Card Market voucher. And I know what you're saying, because apparently I have some fans in the US. Yeah! Well, for those fans in the US, you can still participate. I'll send to you some cards from my private collection that are very casual. So I'll be making a little booster pack especially for you. Alright, now let's jump into the deck. The deck is around 35 euros. It's a little bit more expensive in the US because some of the landfall cards are more popular there. Now when you say landfall, of course you say lands, of course you say basic lands. Of course we need to take a look at the choice of the basic lands. The deck has 23 lands and 4 cards that also can be lands. 30 of them are basics, and I've chosen these nice full art lands from Zendikar Rising. I also included a temple and 2 Thornwood Falls. One Simic Growth Changer is included that bounces a land, which is useful in our landfall strategy, and then some utility lands. Sunscorched Desert does 1 damage to your opponent, Skyline Cascade slows down your opponent's creatures, and Mystic Sanctuary gets back an instant or sorcery. Evolving Wilds is also great in landfall decks. You can also add some Fabled Passages if you have some extra cash laying around. These were already 23 lands, but I also have some special cards from Zendikar Rising that have some lands on the back that I wanna try out. Kalini Territory and Kazandu Valley add some more green sources to the deck. And Glasspool Shore and Balaget Sanctuary add also a land for blue and green. Now let's meet those mysterious creatures called the Moonfolk. Now I made this deck already a while ago and I did some adaptations with the cards from Zendikar Rising. Now let's look at the Moonfolks in the deck. Meloku the Clouded Mirror is our star Moonfolk in the deck. It's one of the only Moonfolk that was good enough to get a reprint. This 2/4 flying Moonfolk wizard returns a land to your hand for only 1 mana. And for this you get a 1/1 flying blue illusion creature. Interesting, of course, is that you can use this ability as much times as you want and even in your opponent's turn. Soratami Cloud Skater can also bounce a land back, and for this you can draw a card and discard a card. Its stats aren't that impressive, but it does have flying. Another Moonfolk or Soratami is the Rain Shaper. It also flies and returns lands to its owner's hand. And for this you can protect your creatures from spells or abilities. Next up, a Moonfolk that also bounces creatures, the Mirror Mage. And Uyo, the Silent Prophet, is our second legendary Moonfolk character. It costs 6 mana and can also bounce lands for 2 mana. And for this it can copy instants and sorceries. On top of this, it also has a good body as a 4/4 flying creature. The last one of the bunch is the Patron of all Moonfolk. It's a flying big rabbit called Patron of the Moon. You can play it as an instant, sacrificing a Moonfolk, but I mainly play it for its other ability. As it can put lands I bounced with my Moonfolk back into play tapped, triggering my landfall permanents. Now, playing only Moonfolk would maybe be not such a strong strategy, so we gave the Moonfolk a little bit of a hand. As we are trying to put quite a bit of lands in play, I play 2 Scribe Scouts, a card that you would like to cast on turn 1. And I also put in a Llanowar Scout. A similar card is the Budoka Gardener, one of the original flip cards which you could flip by putting it upside down. And then it becomes Dokai Weaver of Life. It's a 3/3 that can create XX elemental creatures for 6 mana. And X is the number of lands you control. Now if we play landfall, we need to play, of course, Azusa and the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. They both allow us to play extra lands each turn, and the Dryad also fixes our mana. Krosan Restorer was printed in 2002 and is the oldest card in the list. With all the land bounce things, it can become very useful, and it can even untap up to 3 lands when you have 7 or more lands in your graveyard. Kazandu Nectarpot gains us some life, and the Lotus Cobra gives us some extra mana. Now on to some landfall creatures that love to attack. The Skycat becomes less cute and more dangerous when you play more lands. And the next card, Undergrowth Champion, was $10 at release. Luckily for you now, you can pick it up for next to nothing. It's a very resilient creature that gets big fast in this deck. Now of course, we also need a Mammoth in this deck. And this one has also landfall and it can get huge. Only flavor wise, I would have given it trample. Now I also play some blue creatures. Glasspool Mimic is a shape-shifting rogue that you can play as a land or as any landfall creature for extra value. And with a Soratami Mirror Mage you can bounce it and play it again as something else. I'm not sure in the story what this Merfolk does in this deck, but value-wise it's a bomb. It will gain you life, but most importantly draw you a bunch of cards. Kefnet the Mindful is also a nice undercosted flyer in this deck. And with all the Saratami around, filling your hand to 7 cards is really not that hard. Apparently the Moonfolk also knows some nice Sphinxes. This Guardian of Tazim has some good stats. It's a 4/5 flyer that has a good landfall ability, as it can tap creatures whenever a land comes into the battlefield. And this is extra nice with the Skyline, Cascade or an island. Do you like a lot of beast tokens? Well, who doesn't, right? I'll be including Rampaging Ballots in this deck as well. This can easily create an army of beast tokens with its landfall ability. Now those were the creatures. If you look at all of them together, it looks like a pile of jank. But together they are a well-oiled machine, and with all the landfall they can do some powerful stuff. Now I don't only play creatures in this deck. Balaget Discovery gets back cards from your graveyard, and Kalani Ambush can act as a removal spell. Broken Bond is our answer for artifacts and enchantments. And when you play it, you can also get an extra land from your hand onto the battlefield. Of course, we needed to include 1 Growth Spiral and 1 Explorer. The first one because it's just an awesome card.
And the second one because it has Yargo. So, Bram, can we please have a deck with Yargo?
Okay, seems like a reasonable request. Maybe then you can do that TikTok video I was talking about with the nun.
Never mind then.
No. A landfall deck obviously needs some ramp, so I decided to play some different ones. I included a Rampant Growth, a Harrow and a Kodama's Reach. Now on to some enchantments. The retreats from Battle for Zendikar are still awesome cards in any landfall deck. Retreat to Kazandu, where you can find some mammoths, gains you life and makes your creatures bigger. And retreat to Coralhelm even warrants 2 copies. It can tap your opponent's team easily, and with a Crozen Restorer it can have some explosive, although pretty complicated mana turns. So for example, if you have a retreat with a Crozen Restorer, with Threshold, Azusa and Meloku, you can create some busted stuff, generating tons of mana, creating tokens, etc. The last card in this deck is called Rites of Flourishing, which gives everyone an extra draw and an extra land, which will in 99% of the cases be more beneficial for you than for your opponent. This was the deck, now let's head into the power rankings. In terms of power, this deck is moderately strong. It's also not one of the most easier builds I made for you, but it can give you a good challenge to practice all your triggers and improve your game of Magic. The deck can be very aggressive, but you can also play it a bit defensively, so it's very flexible. And because of the diversity, I also found it a lot of fun to play, and it's definitely value for money. The deck can have some problems against really aggressive decks. It lacks a little bit of removal, so you don't want to play a really aggressive matchup. Now when you have a little bit more time and your engine gets going, it can do powerful stuff. Against control decks, it does quite alright, and against combo decks, it might lack some removal as well. Now on to the card market winner, William Osborne. Congratulations, you can find all the information how to contact me in the description below. So this was our deck for this week. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Also do check out the link to the draw party where you can find all the information for the matches. I try to constantly improve my channel, so please let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it, but also give me some feedback so we can improve our channel for you. So this was the deck. I hope to see you at the matches, and as always, keep it casual. Bye.